Your mind can be your worst enemy or your best ally. It's up to you to choose. Many people wake up and their mind takes the reins right away. It drags them into worry, distractions, overthinking, and doubts before they even start the day. That's why they feel stuck. If you let your mind take control, it will lead you down the wrong path. It creates excuses, seeks comfort, and keeps replaying the same limiting thoughts from the day before. But once you learn to take charge of your mind, things begin to shift. You stop reacting, stop wasting energy, and start making clear decisions. You begin to move with purpose. In this video, you'll discover how to regain that control step by step. You'll learn to think more effectively, focus deeply, and stay grounded no matter what chaos surrounds you. This isn't about empty hype. It's about building the mental strength that real success demands, and it all begins right now. First, you need to take command of your mind and stop chasing after useless thoughts. If you truly want to succeed, it all begins there. Success doesn't start with the job you have, the money in your bank, or even your skills and connections. It all begins with managing your thoughts. If your mind is chaotic, so will your life be. So today, you need to make a decision to command your mind, not just talk to it, not just hope it listens, but truly command it. Most people don't even consider what they think about. Their minds run wild, hopping from one pointless thought to another. They obsess over things that don't matter. They think about what others are doing, repeating the same fearful stories nonstop. They let their minds drag them around like a leash, and then they wonder why they don't feel strong or confident. But if your mind is cluttered with things that weaken you, how can you expect to feel powerful? You need to break that cycle. Wake up each morning and take control before your mind spirals into nonsense. Start your day by deciding what deserves your attention. Not everything is worth your time. Not every thought should have a place at the table. Some thoughts just drain you and make you feel small. You need to spot them and push them away quickly. Remember, your brain is a machine. It will do whatever it's been trained to do. If your mind has learned to seek out distractions, that's what it will do. If it's been trained to react to every little issue, it'll get stuck in that cycle all day long. But if you teach it to concentrate on your goals, values, and what truly matters, it'll start working in your favor. Remember, training your mind isn't a one-time gig. It's a daily practice. You need to guide it, correct it, and keep it on track. When an unhelpful thought pops up, pause and say, "This isn't useful. This isn't moving me forward. This is draining my energy." Then switch it out for something that actually helps. It's not just about thinking positively for the sake of it. It's about focused, practical thinking that reminds you of what's important right now. Discipline starts in your mind. Don't expect to act wisely if your head is cluttered with noise. Clear that mental space. Make room for strength instead of weakness, and for clarity instead of confusion. Be aware that there are thoughts that push you forward and others that keep you stuck. Some thoughts encourage growth, while others drain it. You need to be smart enough to spot the difference and strong enough to choose wisely every day. So how do you get started? First, pay attention. Notice where your thoughts wander throughout the day and what leaves you feeling drained or lost. That's the junk you need to clear out. If it doesn't make you stronger, it has no place in your mind. Second, create some structure. Don't let your mind float around aimlessly. Write down your priorities and goals. Give yourself a list to refer back to when thoughts start to drift. Your mind needs anchors to keep it steady. Third, cut out the junk food for your brain. Just like unhealthy food weakens your body, bad information weakens your mind. If you're just scrolling and consuming nonsense, your mind will start to think that nonsense is important. Be smarter than that. Choose what you watch, who you listen to, and what you let into your thoughts. Your mind is valuable. Protect it like treasure. Fourth, develop strong mental habits. Just like you brush your teeth or exercise, practice mental discipline every day. Start small and keep it simple. Begin with just 5 minutes a day of focused thinking. Sit down with your goals and ask yourself what really matters right now. Train your mind to find clarity, and soon it will get easier and sharper. You'll stop chasing what doesn't help you. Distractions will lose their grip on you faster. Next, challenge your thoughts. Don't believe everything that pops into your head. Some thoughts come from fear, others from your past, and many are just plain wrong. Ask yourself, is this true? Is this helping me? If not, let it go. Don't argue with it, just replace it with something positive, something strong and motivating. Success isn't just about luck, it's about mental control. It's about staying focused when others lose their way, keeping your energy high when everyone feels drained, and thinking clearly when life gets chaotic. That's what makes the difference. It's not about connections or education. It's about how you think, how you handle pressure, and how you stay grounded every single day. Every day, your mind will present you with several paths. One leads to your goals, the others, they go to worry, anger, regret, or distraction. It's your choice. You're in control. You get to say, not today. Today, I'm focused. I'm disciplined. I'm in charge. When you learn to take command of your mind, everything shifts. You stop reacting and start responding. You move past overthinking and get things done. You quit wasting time and begin building. You replace doubt with belief. That's the power of mental control. If you're feeling stuck, start here. If you're scattered, start here. If you crave strength, start here. Stop chasing after useless thoughts. They've drained enough of your time, energy, and life. Now it's your turn to take charge, to lead your mind, to create the life you know you can achieve. Begin with one thought, then another, and keep going. That's how you win. That's how you grow. That's how you succeed. Now, force your brain to focus on what truly matters. If you want to succeed, you've got to do something most people never figure out. You must train your brain to stay locked in on what's important, not just now and then, but consistently. It's simple, yet so many people let their minds wander every single day. They kick off the morning with good intentions, but then something minor catches their eye, and just like that, they've lost focus. A text, a notification, a worry, a distraction, it's all too easy. Before they even realize it, their time and energy are scattered everywhere. They feel busy, but they aren't really getting anything done. They think all day long, but not about things that actually help push them forward. If you truly want to change your life, you've got to make a choice. From now on, I'm going to train my mind to focus on what really matters. It's not an easy task at first. It takes effort and attention. But if you don't, your mind will just drift to whatever is simpler, not what's important. There's a reason some people move ahead quickly while others stay stuck. The difference is not about brains or luck. It's about focus. It's having the strength to stay zeroed in on what counts. It means saying no to the little distractions and yes to the things that really matter. That's what sets apart those who progress from those who feel confused and overwhelmed. You need to grasp this clearly. Your brain is a tool. It reacts to patterns. If you keep jumping from task to task every few minutes, that's what it will do. If you constantly consume shallow content, you'll find it craving that quick pace. But if you work on training it to settle down, to remain calm, and to dive deep into one thing for a while, it will comply. However, this doesn't happen by chance. You have to take charge. Decide what deserves your attention and what doesn't. Start by asking yourself one key question. What really matters right now? Not what feels urgent or loud, but what actually propels your life forward. What helps shape you into who you want to become? What leads to real progress, not just busy work? Once you figure that out, commit to it. Stay put, give it your complete attention, and don't let your mind wander just because something else pops up. This is how you build mental strength. This is how you pave your path to success. You've got to stop letting your brain chase after things that don't help you. Sure, it will try. It'll tempt you with easier options, tugging you toward comfort. But you've got to be the one to say no. You've got to be the one in charge of where your mind goes and what it focuses on. You can't pay attention to everything and expect to see results. It's about narrowing your focus. You have to pick what really matters and train your brain to come back to it again and again. When your mind tries to scroll or wander off, remind it of what's important. If it jumps to something else, just pause. This is where many people give up. They expect it to be easy. But here's the truth. Success isn't easy. Staying focused doesn't come naturally at first because the world is always throwing distractions at you. New things to see, worries to handle, reactions to have. But if you can resist that noise, if you can keep your mind centered on what truly matters, You'll start to build something solid within yourself, a calm power and clear direction. And when you stick with this every day, you'll see the difference. Your energy will boost, your mood will lift, and your confidence will grow. Instead of being yanked in a bunch of directions, you'll be grounded in purpose. You won't waste your time hopping from one trivial thing to another. You'll be focused, you'll be building, and you'll be moving forward. Don't wait for quiet moments to practice this. Do it amidst the chaos. Train your mind to stay on track even when everything outside is loud, when the phone's ringing, or when problems arise. That's when mental strength truly counts. Anyone can focus when things are calm, but real strength shows when you can hold your focus under pressure. Also, get to know your triggers. What breaks your concentration? What pulls you away from what's important? Is it your phone, fears, or comparing yourself to others? Whatever it is, confront it. Don't ignore it. If your phone distracts you, put it in another room while you work. If it's fear, write down your fears and challenge them with facts. If it's others' lives you're comparing to, stop looking and start living your own. You can't keep giving your mind away to things that don't help you grow. One of the best strategies is to create a routine that keeps your brain on track. Give it some structure. Start your day by reminding yourself what matters most. Set one goal, just one, and put your best effort into that. If your mind wanders, bring it back. If you get interrupted, recover quickly. Don't beat yourself up. Just return to the task at hand over and over. That's how focus builds, not by being perfect, but by consistently coming back. And remember, give your mind time to rest. It's not about being stiff all day. It's about knowing when to zero in and when to take a break. A refreshed mind can really focus. So don't wear yourself out trying to find clarity. Take breaks, step back, but always come back to what matters. You also need to shield your focus from emotional overload. Some days, emotions can really overwhelm you. Frustration, anxiety, doubt, they can take over. If you let those feelings steer your focus, they can hijack your entire day. So when emotions bubble up, pause. Don't react right away. Just sit with them. Breathe. Acknowledge how you're feeling, then ask yourself, does this help me move forward? If the answer is no, pick a different way to respond. Decide to return to what truly matters. Even when emotions are loud, train your brain to work for you, not against you. Teach it that success needs focus. Show it that what matters comes first. The more you do this, the more you'll notice distractions losing their grip. They won't pull you in as easily. The temptations won't control you the way they used to. You'll build a stronger, clearer, and more focused mind. With this kind of mind, success isn't just a dream. It's something you make happen. One thought, one choice, one day at a time. That's how you win. You win by focusing on what matters long enough for it to grow. You win by not chasing what doesn't help you. You win by showing up fully with a focused mind and clear direction every single day. And once your brain knows it works for you, everything shifts for the better. Your time improves, your decisions become sharper, and your results get stronger. Now, you're not just living, you're building a life. You're becoming someone who leads with strength, clarity, and focus. That's the kind of mind that success belongs to. You've got to decide what to think. That sounds easy, but most people don't do it. They let their minds wander with no direction. One minute they're dreaming, and the next they're stuck in doubt. The mind is always active, but if you don't guide it, it won't go anywhere good. When you stop taking charge of your thoughts, your mind starts to drift. Drifting leads to confusion, delays, and weakness. You lose control over your time and your mood. Your energy, and ultimately your life, is shaped by how you think. It's not just about talent or opportunity. What truly sets successful people apart is their mindset. They make a decision about their thoughts. They know which thoughts to embrace and which ones to dismiss. They don't leave it up to chance or let habits take over. Each day they wake up and remind themselves, this is how I think, this is where my focus goes. That's not magic, it's discipline, and anyone can cultivate that. If you want to stop drifting through life, start by taking responsibility for your thoughts. No one else will do it for you. Life will distract you. People will share their opinions, problems will pop up. But ultimately, you're in charge of where your focus lands. You get to choose between thinking about growth or feeling defeated. You can dwell on what's wrong or choose to see what's possible. It all begins with ownership. Every thought you pick either lifts you up or brings you down. Your mind becomes what you repeatedly focus on. If you let it fixate on worry, it gets fearful. If you dwell on setbacks, it turns hesitant. Feeding on negativity, that leads to bitterness. But if you take control and choose thoughts that inspire belief, courage, and direction, everything shifts. Your actions become stronger, your mood gets better, your momentum returns. Here's where many go wrong. They don't even realize they're drifting. They think they're progressing just because they're thinking. But thinking without intention? That's like walking in circles. It wears you out without getting you anywhere. You need to give your thoughts a purpose. Say, "This is what I want to achieve today," and train your mind to stick with that repeatedly. Your brain learns from repetition. The more you concentrate on what matters, the more automatic it becomes. It's not just willpower, it's mental training. There will always be distractions. Your mind will throw out reasons to stop, to be afraid, to complain. You'll recall past failures. Doubts will creep in. Pressure will rise. That's all part of the process. But remember, you don't have to accept every thought that pops into your head. Just because it's there doesn't mean it's true. You can notice a thought and then choose. Does this help me? Move ahead or let it go. Swap it out for something useful, something powerful, something real. If you want to guide your mind, give it something to focus on. Don't let it drift or hunt for problems just to stay occupied. You need clarity, and that means having a vision. Know who you want to become and the life you want to build. Once you've made that decision, run each thought through that filter. Ask yourself, does this align with the person I'm becoming? If it doesn't belong. You must guard your thoughts like you guard your future because they shape everything. Drifting happens when you stop making choices. It creeps in when you're passive, letting your surroundings shape your thinking. Don't let social media, fears, or other people's chaos steer your mind. You don't have to follow every distraction. You can take a step back, pause, and think independently. That's where your strength lies, not in reacting, but in choosing. You choose your thoughts. You choose what to believe. You choose what you invest your energy in. One of the best things you can do is set aside some daily thinking time. Just 10 minutes. Grab a piece of paper and ask yourself meaningful questions. How do I want today to unfold? What's the top priority I need to focus on? What thoughts might be holding me back? Get those answers clear. Clean thoughts lead to sharp actions. If your thoughts are cluttered, everything else will be too. Another way to take charge is by paying attention to your surroundings. Who are you listening to? What are you watching? What kind of vibes are surrounding you daily? All of this feeds your mind. If you're engulfed in noise, your thinking gets all over the place. If you constantly soak in drama, your thoughts become defensive. Be intentional. You don't need more information, you need better information. Choose what enters your mental space. It's too limited to waste. Success demands clear thinking, and clear thinking needs focus. You can't cruise on autopilot and expect amazing results. You need to lift your mind out of the haze and get real. Ask yourself, what am I doing with my mental energy? Am I squandering it on things that don't matter? Am I stuck in thoughts that slow me down? If the answer is yes, it's time to shift gears. Start choosing thoughts that fuel your growth. Build a mindset that propels you forward. It's about working for you, not against you. No one's perfect. You'll have tough days. Old thoughts will sneak back in. The key is to notice and correct. That's where your strength lies. You see the drift and you pull back to focus. You recognize fear and you stand tall with courage. You spot doubt and you choose to believe. This is how you gain control, not by sidestepping challenges, but by mastering your comeback. Don't expect everyone to get it. Most people aren't doing this kind of work. They don't even realize how often they lose their way. But that's not you. You're on a different path. You're choosing to think deliberately, to live clearly, to act with purpose. That's what sets you apart. You'll feel calmer, sharper, more confident. Life doesn't get easier. Your mind just gets stronger. And this strength, it's yours to grab right now. It's not held by some secret program. It's not just for those with natural discipline. It's for anyone who wants to take full command of their thoughts and build from there. You don't have to drift through your days. You can break free from patterns that hold you back. You don't need to let confusion and frustration lead you. You have the power to choose a new direction. Once you do, everything shifts. One thought, one decision at a time. That's how you reclaim your mind and create a life that truly works. Every morning, reset your mind with purpose. When you wake up, your mind is at a crossroads. You either take charge or it takes charge of you. The way you start your day influences everything. What you think in those first moments, where you direct your focus, what you tell yourself, all of it shapes your mindset, behavior, and outcomes. So, reset your mind every day with intention. You can't just wake up and hope for a good day. You need to decide what kind of day you want to make, and that begins with training your thoughts. When you open your eyes, your mind isn't blank. It picks up from where you left off the night before. If you went to bed feeling stressed or down, your brain will carry that into the new day unless you change it. That's why a reset is crucial. It doesn't happen automatically. It's something you must do purposefully, every single day. This is how you take charge before the world tries to sway you. This is how you stay grounded, no matter what's going on around you when you wake up. Your first task isn't checking your phone, answering messages, or worrying about problems. It's about taking a moment to consider who you are and where you're headed. Remind yourself of what truly matters, the few things that propel your life forward, the things you've chosen to focus your energy on. If you skip this step, your mind will chase after whatever comes to it first. It will drift, panic, and fall into old habits that keep you stuck. But when you reset with intention, everything shifts. You give your mind a clean slate, you clear out the noise, and you speak the truth to yourself. You start from a place of clarity rather than confusion, and that single choice can influence your focus, attitude, effort, and confidence for the entire day. That's the real power of your morning mindset. You don't need an hour for this. All you need is to be fully present. Take a few minutes to sit up, breathe, and think clearly. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? What actions will reflect that? What distractions should I ignore? This is how you reset, by steering your own course instead of reacting to everything around you. You become proactive, not passive. You live with intention, not under pressure. Most folks start their day off on the back foot. They rush, they're distracted, burdened by thoughts they didn't choose. By the time the day really gets going, they've already lost control of their minds. That's why they feel scattered and lose their focus. They never took the time to own their mindset before the world demanded their attention. If you want to break that cycle, the solution is simple. Don't kick off the day by reacting. Start by making choices. Reset your mind on purpose. Clear away the mental clutter. You aren't the same person you were yesterday. Today is fresh. It's another chance to live with strength and direction. But you can only seize that chance if you take it. And taking it means slowing down and deciding how you want to think. It's easy to forget this step. It's easy to convince yourself you're too busy or too tired. But if you skip this, you lose your edge and your inner control. And once that slips away, everything becomes tougher. Your decisions become harder too. When your reactions aren't sharp, your calmness fades and your work begins to slip. You start relying on outside factors to find joy. But when you take a moment to reset your mind early on, you carry that strength with you. You won't need everything to be flawless. You won't wait for the world to agree with you. You've already chosen how to think, how to act, and what to focus on. This is about raising your standard for how you show up, physically and mentally. The reset is your preparation. It signals that you won't let yesterday dictate today. You won't let pressure make decisions for you, and you won't let worry overshadow your purpose. You are in control. You're leading your mind, and you're starting right now. There's a real power in starting with that kind of intention. Your walk changes, your speech becomes clearer, and you focus on what truly matters. Distractions don't lead you astray, and when stress creeps in, you don't lose your cool because your mind is already grounded. It isn't searching for direction. You gave it one the moment your day began. Some people think it's all about motivation, but really, it's about responsibility. Motivation can waver, but responsibility stays strong. When you take charge of your mind, you stop waiting for the right mood. You stop hoping for a better day. Instead, you create better days by building better mornings. It all starts with a mental reset. You can't wait for peace to find you. You create it by aligning your thoughts with your purpose. That's the essence of the reset. It's not merely about filling your mind with positive thoughts. It's about making room for discipline, commitment, and sensible decisions. That's how you stop reacting unpredictably and reclaim your time. It's how you become serious about the life you're crafting. And don't save this for tough times alone. Practice it daily, especially when things are good. If you only reset when stuck, you'll lack consistency, and inconsistency breeds confusion. But if you reset every morning without exception, you create stability. You build a framework that helps you manage pressure, setbacks, and responsibilities without falling apart. If you genuinely desire success, this needs to be a daily practice. You can't just wake up and wish your mind would cooperate. You shape it, guide it, and refocus on what matters. You remind yourself of who you are and what you're capable of. Once you stop letting the past run your present and tune out the loud distractions, that's when you truly start to lead yourself. It's something you build up. It gets stronger the more you practice. The more you do it, the quicker your brain learns to follow your lead. You'll find you get sidetracked less, handle stress better, and maintain focus for longer. It's not that the world has changed. It's that you've changed how you approach your day. If there's one habit to develop this year, let it be this. Every morning, take a moment to center your mind before diving into anything else. Make sure your thoughts align with the life you're creating. Keep your energy moving in the right direction. Don't leave your mind open to anything. Fill it with what truly matters. Set your focus early, speak with intention, and move with clarity. You can't control everything that happens during the day, but you can control how you show up for it. That all begins the moment you wake up. So reset, do it with purpose, and carry that mindset with you throughout the hours ahead. That's how you create strong days, build clear minds, and find real success. Every day is full of distractions, some loud, some quiet, but they all aim to pull your focus away from what's important. They don't ask for your approval, they just barge in. One thought can spiral into another, one message becomes endless scrolling, and a complaint from someone else turns into your emotional weight. Before you realize it, your mind drifts away from your work, your goals, and your path. That's why you need to strengthen your focus when life throws distractions at you. Focus isn't something you just stumble upon. It's something you guard fiercely. It's not about waiting for the perfect situation. It's about carving out a mental space where you decide what counts and block out everything else. You have to be firm in that choice because if you waver, the noise will always win. There's no shortage of things trying to grab your attention, but they only succeed when you let them in. Be aware of the patterns. Distractions sneak in when you're tired, bored, or frustrated. That's when your brain seeks something easier, something comforting, something that feels like a break. But remember, relief isn't always a good thing. Falling into distractions can trap you. Once you start down that path, it can easily become a habit. And before you know it, that habit turns into your everyday normal. That's how people slip away from progress without even realizing it. They don't make one huge, terrible choice. Instead, they let their focus fade, just a little bit every single day. Staying focused, especially when everything feels chaotic, is what sets apart those who succeed from those who keep starting over. It's the skill that lets you stay consistent, even when everything around you is demanding your attention. Here's the truth. Most things that distract you may seem urgent, but they're really not that important. The real question isn't how loud those distractions are, it's whether they deserve your energy. You can't spread your focus everywhere and expect solid results. Remember, your focus, time, and energy are all limited. So if you're looking to create something meaningful, you need to be more selective. You have to say no more often and protect your focus like it's your most precious resource, because it truly is. Without focus, your talents won't shine, your motivation will fade, and your goals will remain unfinished. Focus is what turns plans into action and action into real progress. And focus isn't about staring at something endlessly. It's about keeping your mind where it belongs. It's about catching yourself when your thoughts wander and redirecting them without delay. That's the practice. Distractions will come, no doubt about it. Your challenge is to spot them early and get back to your main priorities. The quicker you can return to what matters, the stronger you become. Most people waste time because they don't even realize they've been distracted. They get caught up in pointless conversations, chase opinions that don't serve them, and react to issues that don't need their input. By the end of the day, they're worn out, not from hard work, but from scattered thinking and misplaced focus. Living like that will drain you. It keeps you busy, but not effective. You might feel like you're doing a lot, but you're not making progress. If you want to break free from that cycle, start by building awareness. Pay attention to where your mind wanders and notice when you lose focus. Write those moments down if it helps. Become a student of your own attention. The more you recognize your patterns, the more control you'll have. Once you know your weak spots, you can create a system to protect against them. This could mean turning off notifications when you're really focused. It might mean setting a timer and sticking to one task for that time. Maybe it's about mapping out your morning so you don't get distracted right off the bat. It could also involve taking short breaks on purpose to avoid burning out and seeking distractions just to feel a bit better. These little actions can lead to big outcomes because they help you remember what truly matters. Sometimes, distractions aren't just things. They can be thoughts, memories, fears, or worries about what might happen. When your mind starts spinning with all those stories, it pulls you away from the moment. You could be at your desk, but mentally elsewhere. You need to catch yourself and ask, is this thought even helpful? Is it helping me take action, or just making me overthink? If it's not useful, let it go. Swap it out for something clear, real, and grounded in the present, not those what-ifs. One of the strongest moves you can make is to decide what deserves your focus. Make it clear, say it to yourself every morning. Today I'm focusing on this, just one thing. Stick with it. When life tries to pull you away, don't react, don't judge. Just come back. That's how you build focus, through gentle returns, not strict discipline. Don't fall into the trap of needing perfect conditions to concentrate. You don't need total silence or to feel just right. You just need to commit. Distractions are all around us, and they always will be. But the person who manages to stay focused, no matter the chaos, is the one who wins. They don't wait for the right mood or motivation. They just move forward. Each time you bring your attention back to what matters, you build confidence. You remind yourself that you're in control. You're not a victim of your surroundings or your habits. You're leading your life with purpose. And every time you practice this, that sense of identity grows stronger. People will try to pull you into their issues, their pace, but you don't owe your attention to everyone. You owe it to your purpose. That's where your best work happens. That's where your growth is. That's where your next level awaits. You won't get there by letting your mind wander all day. You get there by keeping it close, directing it, and choosing where to put it. When life gets noisy, don't get distracted by the noise. Stay calm, stay committed, and stick to what you're focused on. You've got to realize that distractions don't deserve your time. Not today, not anymore. You have something to create, and the only way to do it is by staying focused when others drift away. That's how focus becomes your powerhouse. It's not about forcing yourself. It's about making quiet choices every single day. You win the battle for your attention one moment at a time. That's how you stay consistent, create real results, and rise above the chaos. You control your focus, and with that, you control your future. Imagine steering a car. That's how you should direct your thoughts. Many people don't see it, but your thoughts don't just go wherever they please. You're the one in charge, deciding their direction. The trouble is, a lot of folks never learn to drive their thinking. One minute they're engaged, the next they're lost in worries from years ago. One second they're pumped up, the next they're stressing over things beyond their control. They're just reacting, not steering anything. And when your thoughts aren't guided, your life starts drifting. You end up confused, frustrated, and wondering why nothing feels right. That's why learning to direct your thoughts is essential. It's at the heart of building a life that works. If you don't map out a route for your mind, it'll find its own, usually following habits and distractions. That kind of route doesn't lead to growth. It leads to the same worries, the same mistakes, the same regrets over and over again. You feel like you're thinking, but really, you're just going in circles. Thinking isn't enough. You need to think with purpose. Steer your thoughts deliberately, keeping both hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road ahead. Every day there's a moment when you can feel your thoughts starting to veer off course. You begin to doubt yourself, worry about what others are thinking, look for excuses, or blame your circumstances. In that moment, you get to choose. You can let it keep going, or you can take the wheel and steer it back. Remind yourself of your destination. You can choose a better thought. It's your responsibility. No one else can do it for you. The longer you wait, the tougher it gets to redirect those thoughts. So catch it early. The sooner you make the shift, the more control you'll maintain. Too many people are just cruising through life on mental autopilot, never stopping to ask themselves what they really want. People often don't stop to think about why they're thinking what they are. They don't ask if those thoughts are helping or hurting them. They just keep moving in the same direction, even if it's taking them farther from their goals. It's time to break that cycle. Start asking yourself real questions. Why am I thinking this right now? Is this helping me move forward? Is this the path I want to take? If the answer is no, don't hesitate. Steer yourself in a new direction. Change your mindset with purpose, not frustration. You're not just switching a thought, you're reclaiming your power. Directing your thoughts isn't about putting on a fake smile when you're struggling. It's about having clarity and choosing which thoughts deserve your attention and which don't. If a thought pushes you toward action, truth, or strength, hold on to it. If it drags you down into fear, procrastination, or weakness, let it go. It's that straightforward. That's how you gain mental control. Not by pretending everything's okay, but by deciding to focus on what lifts you up, rather than what holds you back. It takes practice, just like learning to drive. At first, it might feel strange. You might swerve or overcorrect, and that's okay. Just keep going. Don't say to yourself, "This is just how I think." Remind yourself that your thoughts shape your life. If you want to live better, you need to think better. For that, you have to steer those thoughts intentionally. One effective way to do this is to set mental checkpoints during your day. Take a moment and ask, what am I thinking right now? Is this helping me or holding me back? Where is this thought leading me? This practice brings awareness, allowing you to take control. Without awareness, your thoughts can get out of hand, but with it, you become the driver. Remember, steering your thoughts doesn't mean avoiding pain. It's about choosing how to face it. When tough situations arise, your mind may want to spiral downwards, and that's a normal reaction. But you can decide not to stay stuck there. You can shift your attention towards solutions, actions, and a broader perspective. You'll still feel those emotions, but don't let them take charge. Let your values and mission guide you. That's what distinguishes strong thinkers from those who just react. They acknowledge reality without letting it control them. You can't move toward a goal if you don't know where you're headed. That's why having clarity is crucial. Who do you want to be? What do you want to create? What kind of vibe do you want in your life? You need to figure that out and stick to it every day. Keep your thoughts aligned with your goals. If your thoughts don't match your desired path, you'll never get there. This is why your personal standards are key. If you don't set any boundaries on your thoughts, you'll just accept whatever pops up. You'll let old fears take over and allow doubt to take the front seat. But with clear standards, you won't put up with certain thinking patterns. You'll tell yourself, that's not who I am anymore, and refocus on what truly matters. You need to repeat this process. You don't master your mind by just reading a book or hearing a single good idea. You master it by making the same decision over and over again. Practice mental discipline in those quiet moments. Adjust your focus when nobody's watching. Each time you steer your thoughts back to your aim, you strengthen your control. Little by little, what seemed hard becomes second nature, and your mind will start to follow your lead. This way of thinking builds quiet confidence, the kind that says, I can handle this, I can stay calm, I can make choices and keep moving. It's not about having a perfect life, it's about having control over your thoughts. You're not letting fear pull you around or getting lost in confusion. You're steering your mind with strength and focus. There will always be things you can't control. But the one thing you can always grasp is your mindset. What you think about, what you focus on, what you repeat, that's your steering wheel, your advantage. Don't give it away to emotions or outside distractions. Keep a tight grip on it and navigate your life where you want it to go. You don't need to get everything right. Just stay aware and intentional. When you drift off course, bring yourself back. When doubt creeps in, shift your thinking. When those old stories play in your head, rewrite them. Every shift is a victory. Every return is growth. Each time you pick your next thought on purpose, you're building a stronger you. This is your mind. This is your life. Drive it with intention and think with discipline. Every day, check in with yourself. That's how you take control and reach your goals. Weak thinking? Reject it as soon as it shows up. It doesn't knock on your door. It doesn't ask for permission. It rushes in quietly, catching you off guard. One minute you feel great, the next that voice jumps in. You're not ready. You're not good enough. What if it fails? That's how it works. It sneaks in, sounding convincing, but it's false. If you don't catch it quickly, it starts to grow. It gains speed, feeding off your focus. Before you know it, your actions slow down, your energy dips, and your confidence begins to fade. That's why you don't engage with weak thoughts. Don't let them speak a second time. Reject them instantly. Weak thinking thrives on hesitation. It wants you to pause, to doubt, to second guess. The longer you let it stick around, the harder it is to shake off. So act fast. Don't entertain those thoughts. Don't let them sit at your table. The moment a negative thought drags you down, cut it off. Do it calmly, not with anger, but with clear understanding. See it for what it is, useless. It's not helping you grow. It's trying to hold you back. You're not meant to feel stuck. This isn't about pretending to be okay. It's about making choices. Weak thoughts will always be there, but it's about what you do with them. Will you let them control your day, or will you shift your focus? That's your role. You don't need perfect thoughts. You need to take responsibility. You have to steer your mind before it leads you to a place you don't want to be. Many think mindset is just motivation, but it's really about making decisions. Every time a thought arises, you decide what it means to you. You choose to keep it or let it go. That's your strength, and if you don't use it, you risk being governed by habits you didn't choose. You'll continue to hear that same mental chatter that's held you back before. Each time you listen, you give it power. You create a mental loop that repeats, and that loop shapes your mindset. To stop it, adopt a new strategy. Don't wait for weak thoughts to escalate into a crisis. Catch them early. Notice them as soon as they appear, and shut them down right away. Not later, not after you've thought about it. Do it immediately. When you act quickly, you save energy and sharpen your mind. You become alert, aware, and that awareness gives you power. Instead of just reacting, you respond thoughtfully and with purpose. But you also need to be aware of where your weak thoughts tend to creep in. Everyone has their own patterns. For some, it happens when they try something new. For others, it's when they fail or compare themselves to others. Recognizing your triggers is crucial. When you understand where your weak thoughts begin, you can brace yourself for them. You don't have to be blindsided every time. Train yourself to spot these thoughts early and silence them quickly. Weak thinking often sounds reasonable, which is what makes it tricky. It can be subtle. It whispers instead of shouts. It wraps itself up in caution, realism, or protection, but the outcome is the same. It stalls your progress and feeds hesitation, and that hesitation can cost you dearly. A little pause can lead to missed chances, and if that happens often enough, it can distort how you see yourself. You need to respond with strength. Don't just push those thoughts away. Replace them with something concrete. Anchor yourself in who you're becoming, not who you used to be. Establish a few solid truths you can turn to when doubts arise. Remind yourself, this thought isn't helping me. This isn't who I am. I know what I'm building and what I stand for. That's not just a mindset, it's your mental shield. It shields you from doubt. Discipline begins in your mind, not just in your actions. You can't perform strong if your thoughts are weak. Start from the core. Take charge of your inner dialogue, and when it strays from the life you want, reject it firmly. That's not being harsh, that's being clear. You need to guard your mind and say, I value my future too much to let this thought linger. Weak thoughts can't take hold in a committed mind. That's why commitment matters. When you're clear about your values, goals, and identity, there's little room for doubt. Weak thoughts bounce off. But if you're unsure, they sneak in, searching for openings. That's why knowing who you are is one of your best defenses. You don't have to think twice about letting go of what doesn't fit you. It's important to stay grounded in your actions. Weak thoughts get stronger when you stand still, when you overthink, and when you replay conversations or predict worst-case scenarios. That kind of thinking only feeds the doubt. But when you take action, even small steps, and keep busy with purpose, your mind stays focused on growth. It doesn't have time to spiral. It's too busy building. Here's the secret. Keep moving, not in chaos, but with clear, focused effort. You don't overcome weak thinking by thinking harder. You do it by taking actions that prove those thoughts wrong. And this isn't a one-time deal. It's a daily practice, an hourly commitment. Every morning, those thoughts will show up, but so will your power to choose. The more you use this power, the sharper it gets. Reject what doesn't serve you, and soon it will feel natural to think with strength. Eventually, your default mindset becomes stronger. You won't struggle as much. You'll see the lies coming and move right past them. That's how you build mental toughness, not by sidestepping challenges, but by facing them with a clear and strong mind. You don't need to wait until you feel brave or until everything is perfect. Take control now. Lead yourself now. Dismiss weakness not because you're fearless, but because you're focused. Weak thinking won't vanish forever, but it loses its grip when you stop giving it attention. You don't overcome it by sheer force. You beat it with discipline and clarity. Recognize your worth and guard your focus. Every time you make that choice, you grow, you improve, and you gain clarity. Over time, you'll stop seeking permission and validation. You won't wait for a perfect mindset. You'll create it on purpose. That's what mental leadership looks like. That's how you cultivate a mindset that propels your life forward. You become the type of person who doesn't crumble under pressure. Instead, you confront it, you lead through it, and you rise above. It all begins with a straightforward but powerful rule. Reject weak thinking the moment it appears, without hesitation, without debate, without compromise. Your mind is yours. Claim it completely and build something strong with it. Your beliefs shape your thoughts, your words, your actions, and ultimately the life you lead. Yet most people never pause to reflect on one crucial question. What do I believe? And where did that belief come from? Did you truly choose it, or did it originate from someone else? Was it born from failures, fears, or your past? If you didn't actively choose it, it might be holding you back instead of lifting you up. That's why you need to take a step back and take control. Decide what to believe and guard that belief fiercely. Success doesn't just come from learning new skills. It's about believing you can achieve it. That belief doesn't just appear. It needs to be nurtured. It won't stay strong all on its own. Every day, life throws various challenges your way. People, situations, and even your inner critic that can chip away at your confidence. They'll make you question your worth, remind you of past failures, and highlight your flaws. If you don't stand firm in your beliefs, they'll start to fade. You'll find yourself shrinking, playing it safe, hesitating, and eventually forgetting why you started in the first place. Belief is more than just a feeling. It's a clear and personal choice about who you are, what you stand for, and where you're heading. You don't owe anyone proof of it, nor do you need to explain yourself. But you do have to protect it. Treat it like the precious thing it is. Everything you do flows from this belief. Your discipline, your habits, your relationships, your work. If you think you're not ready, you'll hold back. If you feel inadequate, you'll shy away from opportunities. If you believe that people like you can't succeed, you'll keep lowering your expectations. That's why you can't let beliefs form by chance. Step up and declare, "This is what I believe," and defend it every day, in every situation, even when it gets tough. But choosing a belief is just the start. The real effort lies in keeping it alive. Beliefs will face trials. You'll have days filled with setbacks. You'll encounter people who overlook your potential. You'll hear opinions that clash with your vision. In those moments, It's all too easy to start doubting yourself or to adjust your beliefs to fit in with what's comfortable or popular. But if you let that belief fade, whenever life gets tough, remember it wasn't truly yours to begin with. Real belief doesn't rely on perfect circumstances. It thrives on commitment. You grow your belief by consciously choosing what to focus on each day. Your mind will throw options at you, proof of why you can't or reminders of why you can. If you dwell on setbacks, your belief shrinks. But if you look at progress, your belief expands. It's really that simple. Belief isn't created through grand speeches or daydreaming. It's built through your consistent focus and your actions. When you keep showing up, you start proving to yourself that your belief is real. Don't just believe in your goal. Believe in your ability to navigate the journey. Trust in your resilience and your growth. It's not just about reaching the destination. It's about the person you're becoming along the way. When your belief is tied to who you are, not just what you want, it becomes unshakable. Sometimes you might feel like you're the only one in your corner, and that's okay. You don't need everyone to agree with you. You don't need their permission to believe. Just be honest with yourself. Do you want this badly enough to guard your belief through tough times? Belief is easy when everything's going well, but it's in the doubt, the struggle, and failure that it matters most. That's when belief becomes your anchor. Keep your belief visible. Write it down, say it out loud, and remind yourself every day of what you believe and why it matters. Don't let it get lost in distractions or shrink under stress. Bring it to the forefront of your mind. Let it influence your routines, your relationships, and your decisions. That's how you safeguard it, by keeping it active. A belief that's ignored is a belief that fades away. Be mindful of who you listen to. Not everyone should have access to your mindset. If someone constantly undermines what you're building, that's not feedback. That's sabotage. You don't need people who make you doubt your worth. Seek out those who challenge you, but do so with respect and a vision. Surround yourself with those who honor your beliefs, even if they don't fully grasp them. And most importantly, be that supportive voice for yourself. One effective way to protect your belief is through action. Each time you tackle something difficult, you reinforce your belief. Each promise you keep with yourself strengthens it further. It's not the outcome that counts, it's the act of showing up with purpose. That action sends a message to your mind. This is who I am. And if you keep doing this over and over, that message sticks. That's how belief takes root, not just by thinking, but by being consistent and proving it to yourself. Your belief doesn't need to mirror anyone else's. You don't have to emulate someone else's confidence. What you need is your own quiet certainty. It should feel right deep down, reminding you that perfection isn't necessary. What's important is that you keep pushing forward. Don't fall into the trap of waiting to feel ready. Often, belief follows action, not the other way around. If you keep waiting until you feel strong, you'll miss too many opportunities. So, get moving. Start building and let your belief grow from your own efforts, from your hard work, and from your personal growth. That kind of belief is authentic and won't fade when things get tough. It gets stronger because it's founded on truth. Even when challenges come, you can return to that decision. I get to choose what I believe. I won't let fear narrate my story. I won't let past missteps determine my identity. I'm choosing a belief that lifts me up, that pushes me forward, and that gives me the courage to keep going. Your future hinges on what you believe right now, so take this seriously. Don't leave your beliefs to chance. Choose them for yourself. And once you make that choice, safeguard it, nurture it, and live by it. Because if you hold on long enough, you'll start to become what you always thought was possible. That's not luck. It's clarity, commitment, and discipline. It's the product of someone who believed and never let go. The true test of your mindset happens when no one's watching. It's about how you think when there's no applause, no reminders, and no accountability. That's where real growth takes place, when there are no cameras, no audience, and no rewards waiting for you. That's when you discover your true self. Discipline isn't a performance. It's not about looking tough. It's about staying focused when nobody's there to see if you did or didn't. Your mind, more than your body or your skills, needs that kind of discipline every single day. Discipline means just showing up. Take charge of your life without waiting for someone to give you the go-ahead. It's about steering your thoughts, especially on days when you're feeling drained or just off. Anyone can be sharp when the pressure's on, but real sharpness comes when it's calm. That's where folks tend to lag behind. They treat discipline like it's only on when there's a deadline or an audience. But true discipline? It's quiet. It's those moments spent alone with your thoughts, making choices that shape your future. Your thoughts are always there, and if you're not vigilant, they can whisper you out of everything you truly want. They'll try to convince you it's fine to take a break, remind you that no one's watching, and serve up excuses disguised as reasons. If you listen to those thoughts too many times, you train your mind to seek the easy way out. Then consistency, it becomes a struggle. You might show up when you're feeling great, but vanish when the going gets tough. That's not strength, it's just reacting emotionally. Discipline stands in stark contrast. It's about doing what needs doing, even when you don't feel like it. To build that mindset, you have to set your own standards. Don't wait for others to dictate how to think or act. You decide every day which thoughts deserve your attention. That standard must be crystal clear. Don't give in to self-pity. Don't nurture frustration. Don't replay those little stories that make you feel less than. This doesn't mean you ignore what's real. It means you stay focused on where you're headed. Solutions become your priority. Keep your eye on growth. And when a thought tries to pull you back into old habits, challenge it. Don't hesitate. No one will stop you from giving up on yourself or choosing comfort over challenge. That's why this matters. It's all about what you do when no one's watching, when it's just you and the choices you make. The toughest thing to manage isn't out there. It's within your own mind. Your mind will put you to the test, tempt you, and try to lure you into cutting corners. That's why discipline isn't just about feeling motivated. It's a choice you make in advance and stick to, no matter how the day feels. Become your own coach, your own partner in accountability, your own guide. Speak to yourself with strength when needed. When your mind says to take a break, pause and ask yourself why. When it feels overwhelming, think about what you've actually accomplished. This isn't to shame yourself. It's to be honest and clear. Most of the limits we face are just in our heads. They come from stories we tell ourselves over and over. If you want to grow, you need to change that story. And you change it through repetition. Discipline isn't something you flip on overnight. It builds up through small choices made when no one's watching. It's those early mornings where you choose to focus instead of getting distracted. It's the late nights when you turn down the easy path and say yes to what helps you move forward. It's the random moments in your day when your mind wants to wander and you gently guide it back. You don't wait for the perfect mindset, you train it. That training happens in the quiet times. A lot of people think discipline means holding back, but it's really the opposite. Discipline gives you freedom, the freedom to trust yourself, to act without second guessing. It means knowing that no matter what's happening outside, your mind is under your control. That's a powerful place to operate from. Your confidence won't rely on what others think. It will come from your ability to do what's necessary, regardless of who's watching. And remember, it's not about being perfect. You'll stumble. You'll have days when your thoughts get the better of you. That's all part of it. Discipline isn't about avoiding failure. It's about bouncing back quickly. You get the sense, and you return, you adjust, you learn. That's strength. That's growth. You don't stay stuck in a rut, and you don't let a single negative thought ruin your day. You shift gears early and come back to the standard you set for yourself. There's a quiet pride that comes with mastering your mind. You start to trust yourself more. You believe in your own word again. You don't rely on others to push you because you've trained your mind to perform, even when you're alone. That kind of person is rare. That person is consistent, and consistency is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. To stay disciplined when no one's watching, create a routine that you respect, one that aligns with your goals, one that challenges you to show up, not just in body, but in mind. Surround yourself with things that support your growth and cut out distractions. If something weakens your mind, let it go. Don't fight it. Just move on. This journey is about creating a life where your thoughts support your goals instead of holding you back. Don't wait until you feel you've earned a break. Rest is part of being disciplined, but it comes after putting in the work. Lazy thinking seeks comfort without putting in the effort. Disciplined thinking achieves peace through progress. You rest knowing you've accomplished things when no one was there to cheer you on. This mindset will see you through tough times when everything feels heavy and uncertain. Your mind will be your anchor, but only if you've trained it during those quiet moments. Teach it to stay calm, clear, and focused, especially when no one else is around to hold you accountable. That's what mental discipline is all about, being a leader for yourself. It's keeping your commitments even when no one is watching, building strength quietly, steadily, and with full accountability. You don't need to impress anyone. You don't need validation. What you need is truth. The truth is, you already have what it takes. You just have to direct your mind to live like it. Discipline opens the door to a whole new life, starting where no one else can see. So make those quiet hours meaningful. That's where the real transformation starts. Everything kicks off in your mind. The life you're aiming for, the goals you're setting, the habits you're forming, they all begin with how you think. If your mindset doesn't shift, your life won't change either. You can set goals, plan, and work hard, but if you're stuck thinking like the uncertain, scared version of yourself, everything you build will reflect those limitations. That's why it's crucial to decide now. Think like the person you want to become, not just when it's easy or convenient. Every single day, no matter what's going on around you. Don't wait for success to validate your new way of thinking. You have to lead with your thoughts. Embrace the confidence, discipline, and focus of the future you. Start thinking at that level now, because your thoughts influence your actions, and your actions determine your results. Think about where you want to go, not just where you are now. Ask yourself, how would the best version of me think? How would they handle stress? What would they focus on when times get tough? What would they let go of? The answers to these questions give you a blueprint. Once you have an idea of how this person thinks, your job is to start thinking that way, even if you're not there yet. In fact, especially if you're not there yet. It's about creating the right mindset before you've achieved the lifestyle or results. If your thinking doesn't shift, the results won't stick. You'll slip back into old habits. Changing your thoughts is the first step. It's not just about dreaming big. It's about holding on to thoughts that align with those dreams. There's no point in aiming for a bright, successful future if your mind is cluttered with excuses, doubt, and procrastination. You need thoughts that propel you forward, guide you through tough times, and keep you steady when the pressure is on. But those empowering thoughts won't just appear out of nowhere. You have to create them. You need to choose them every single day. You'll face challenges, distractions, negativity, and fears. You'll hear old thoughts creeping in, saying things like, "You've never done this before," or "You're not good enough." In those moments, remind yourself of your choice. You've decided to think like the person you want to become. That person doesn't let fear lead the way. They don't hesitate. They take charge of their thoughts. Not just when things are smooth, but all the time. You have to practice this like a skill. Just like you work out your body, you need to work on your mind. It takes repetition. It means catching yourself when you slip back into old thought patterns. Stop mid-sentence and say, "No, that's not how I think anymore." Then replace it. Pick a better thought, one that's grounded in your goals, your values, and your growth. That's how you build mental strength over time. Start by defining the person you want to become. Describe them in detail. How do they deal with challenges? How do they treat others? How do they use their time? How do they stand tall during hard times? Once you have that clarity, you set a mental benchmark. Hold yourself to it. When you fall short, don't give up. Adjust and learn from it like someone committed to growing, not with shame, but with honesty. You don't just rise by chance. You rise by practicing what's ahead right now. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Instead, build a mindset that creates those perfect moments. Even if you're just starting out or don't feel ready, think at a higher level first, and then take action from that space. The more you act on those thoughts, the more they become a part of who you are. and when they become part of you, no one can take that away. This isn't about pretending, it's about being in sync. Your future needs certain thoughts. If you're stuck in a lower mindset, you might sabotage your own progress without realizing it. You'll doubt the right opportunities, hesitate at the right doors, and talk yourself out of what's possible. It's not that you lack potential, it's that your thinking hasn't caught up to where you want to go. When you think like the future version of yourself, everything aligns. Your mindset matches your goals, your actions match your words, and soon your results reflect that consistency. You also have to guard this new mindset. Not everyone will get it. Some folks are comfortable with the old you, the you you're trying to leave behind. They're familiar with your past habits and stories, but you're moving forward now. That means you don't need to explain your thinking to those who aren't on the same path you are. Stay focused. Stay grounded in who you're becoming. It's easy to slip back, especially on tough days when life feels uncertain. That's when old thoughts might creep back in, but don't follow them. Make no space for them. You've made a choice. You're choosing to think like someone who leads their life, not someone who runs from it. You show up, even when it's tough. You focus, even when no one else is watching. If you keep making that choice, you'll become it. Not all at once, but bit by bit. You'll notice your patience growing, your decisions improving, and your emotions stabilizing. Instead of reacting, you'll start responding, because your thoughts have gotten stronger. Your mind is trained. You're building an inner world that can support the outer world you're creating. Don't underestimate the impact of one small shift in thinking. One new belief or moment of clarity can replace confusion. Those little choices add up, build momentum, and shape who you are. As time goes by, those choices form the backbone of the life you're striving for. Each morning, come back to that decision. Tell yourself, today, I will think like the person I'm becoming, not based on how I feel, but on where I'm headed. That's consistency. That's genuine change. The more you practice this, the more your life will align with your mindset. The world pays attention to those who think with conviction, those who take the lead in their own lives, and who keep evolving from within. That's the person you're becoming,